Hello, my name is Faris Bandagji, and today I will be going through theories and key takeaways from my Psychology and Sociology and Business course. First, I will discuss concepts, the value they bring, and how it can be applied in a business setting. Concepts. First concept we will be talking about is Ikigai. Ikigai is a concept that we learned in class, which is essentially finding one's purpose in life. This is a 1,000-year-old concept that is still being used to this day, showing the value that it provided individuals that explored this framework throughout history. The second concept we will be talking about is Stolen Focus. Stolen Focus is a novel that we were instructed to read that had key takeaways that can be used in both business and life. The concept is that I learned from the book is that multitasking isn't a realistic action, cruel optimism, data tracking, and manipulation. The next one is corporate culture. Our lecture on corporate culture is one that I value deeply. There are many congruent points that create the type of business environment you would want for your business and employees. The corporate culture points consist of creating a respectable corporate culture with a vision, mission statement, and policies to maintain order within the company. The next concept that could be used is a strength survey. Our first assignment in the course was to complete a strength survey on the VIA platform. I am aware it isn't a concept, however, it is one that I see employees and even shareholders using to optimize their business environment. The appeal of the Ikigai concept comes from the amount of value it can provide someone at any walk of life. A 50-year-old could use the framework and finally focus on their purpose while they can, or a 20-year-old can participate and find what they were destined for with a whole life ahead of them to fail and succeed. I see it providing value for not just entities but individuals, which makes it very appealing to me. The next concept is stolen focus. There is a quote within the book that says, "It's not your fault you can't focus. It's by design." This point in the book stole my focus and drew me in because there were many scenarios in my life where I have seen myself lose focus from tech, which also extends to being manipulated by it through social media and data tracking. This point has shown its true value to me due to understanding why individuals have lost focus over the past few decades and how I can overcome this surge in distractions to focus on my own personal goals, which include running successful businesses. The next one is corporate culture. Optimizing one's corporate culture is a valuable component to any entity. It is an important component to consider when creating a business. A consistently monitored corporate culture can lead to an extremely well-run business. This has been observed across multiple industries, specifically in tech. We always hear about Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg being accused of harsh and strict policies on how people act and operate in their companies. From an external point of view, I can see why they would have this perception. However, knowing about how important maintaining a corporate culture is, I can also understand those founders and where they were coming from. They were just trying to eliminate any potential threat that was exposed to their corporate culture. Let's create a metaphorical scenario. The founder is a parent, the company is the child, the departments in the company are organs, and the employees are the skeletal system. If there is a fractured vertebra, this can seriously affect the organs, as the skeletal system is an armor and required tool for organ function. If the organs cannot function, the child's health will fail dramatically. As a parent, you would do everything in your power to neutralize this situation. Next is the strength survey. The strength survey allowed me to proceed with two very powerful lifestyle changes. One was to observe my strengths, which enabled me to utilize and sharpen them in both life as well as business. Another was to assess my weaknesses and sharpen them to decrease the gap in skill difference to optimize my time and life quality. In my opinion, the survey should be used to evaluate what is a strength and what can be stronger. Concepts can be applied in a business setting. Ikigai. I could see an Ikigai framework being introduced into the workplace as an activity, being an effective exercise. It could be done with two different processes, which could include a golden circle and an Ikigai diagram for both themselves as an employee and individuals for the company. This will allow the employees to see how they can get the most out of their situation by both inside and outside of the company. The other method includes the employees taking a guided Ikigai survey to do the exact same thing, which would allow them to find their results faster. This will show the employees that the company sees them more than just a number, but a human that's trying to find their purpose in life. Next is stolen focus. The points I could see being used from the book in a professional setting includes not multitasking, cruel optimism, data tracking, and manipulation. One company did a study on their employees. They did an IQ test on them after multitasking and again after being focused on one task. Their IQs dropped by 10 points from multitasking. Johan Hari also mentioned that the brain is a muscle. You must train it to monotask to get better at it. With this being said, it is best to instruct employees to focus on one task at a time during projects. The company should want the efficiency and accuracy of the work to be at its best, which this will provide. The next concept is cruel optimism. This is when we give blame to one person or entity with the hopes that a few small actions will change such a prominent issue that has been ingrained into our society. An example of this includes having a society that contributes to an unhealthy lifestyle, extreme environmental hazards for resources, with a culture of work over exercise. With this information, we can use this for both personal and business purposes. For personal, we can focus on having an ideal lifestyle to prolong our life expectancy due to knowing about the external factors affecting us every day. For business, for business, we can play it two ways. Provide services or products to the audience that wants a healthy lifestyle. Despite being less in population, they will be willing to pay more for services, and we will be able to make a positive contribution to society with a good conscience. The second and less ethical solution is to provide distractions, data tracking, manipulation, and unhealthy contributions to society. These examples consist of junk food, social media content, and other components that provide zero value to a productive lifestyle. Most of the population's consumer habits fall onto this spectrum, which shows us that the money is here despite the market being extremely saturated. Companies are tracking users' data such as Uber trips, buying habits, favorite music, travel destinations, most liked content on social media, and more to target that customer with the perfect service for them, while also selling that data for other companies to do the same thing. While it's an invasive strategy, it is how the tech companies have secured their market share in their designated industry. Include a mission statement, vision, and other points that should be expressed in the company's corporate culture profile. The other points in the culture's profile include innovation, behavior, attention to detail, and team-orientedness. It truly shows when a business is actively trying to sustain a healthy culture in the company. Good or bad culture can be reflected onto employees, which translates to the sales of business. With this being said, a corporate culture will allow the founder of the company to have their vision and guide ingrained into their business, allowing all of their employees to follow a path and goals that have been set. This will allow the vibe, work ethic, and overall operations to run as good as the entity's behavioral policies that are provided. The next concept is the strength survey. I could easily see this being done within the recruiting process of new employees in HR to see how they could fit in the team, or potentially designing a team around a very strong candidate for a new department. I could also see this being used amongst shareholders. My father did a very similar exercise with his board members in an external company where they would take a personality and strength survey, which allowed the shareholders to see each other's perspectives and created a new level of understanding among them.